his stock for 1,000 dinars, and after buying outfit and merchandise, went his ways to foreign parts. He was absent 1 whole year with the caravan. But one day as I sat in my shop, behold, a beggar stood before me asking alms, and I said to him, Allah open thee another door. Whereupon he answered, weeping the while, Am I so changed that thou knowest me not? Then I looked at him narrowly, and lo, it was my brother. So I rose to him and welcomed him. Then I seated him in my shop and put questions concerning his case. Ask me not, answered he. My wealth is a waste, and my state hath waxed unstated. So I took him to the hammam bath, and clad him in a suit of my own, and gave him lodging in my house. Moreover, after looking over the accounts of my stock in trade and the profits of my business, I found that industry had gained me 1,000 dinars, while my principal, the head of my wealth, amounted to 2,000. So I shared the whole with him, saying, Assume that thou hast made no journey abroad, but hast remained at home, and be not cast down by thine ill luck. He took the share in great glee, and opened for himself a shop, and matters went on quietly for a few nights and days. But presently my second brother, yon other dog, also setting his heart upon travel, sold off what goods and stock in trade he had, and albeit we tried to stay him, he would not be stayed. He laid in an outfit for the journey, and fared forth with certain wayfarers. After an absence of a whole year he came back to me, even as my elder brother had come back. And when I said to him, O my brother, did I not dissuade thee from travel? He shed tears and cried, O my brother, this be destiny's decree. Here I am, a mere beggar, penniless, and without a shirt to my back. So I led him to the bath, O genie, and clothing him in new clothes of my own wear, I went with him to my shop and served him with meat and drink. Furthermore I said to him, O my brother, I am wont to cast up my shop accounts at the head of every year, and whatso I shall find a surplusage is between me and thee. So I proceeded, O Ifrit, to strike a balance, and finding 2,000 dinars of profit, I returned praises to the Creator. Be he extolled and exalted, and made over one half to my brother, keeping the other to myself. Thereupon he busied himself with opening a shop, and on this wise we abode many days. After a time my brothers began pressing me to travel with them, but I refused, saying, What gained ye by travel voyage that I should gain thereby? As I would not give ear to them, we went back each to his own shop, where we bought and sold as before. They kept urging me to travel for a whole 12-month, but I refused to do so till full 6 years were past. And gone when I consented with these words, O my brothers, here am I, your companion of travel. Now let me see what moneys you have by you. I found, however, that they had not a doit, having squandered their substance in high diet and drinking and carnal delights. Yet I spoke not a word of reproach. So far from it, I looked over my shop accounts once more, and sold what goods and stock in trade were mine. And finding myself the owner of 6,000 ducats, I gladly proceeded to divide that sum in halves, saying to my brothers, These 3,000 gold pieces are for me, and for you to trade withal, adding, Let us bury the other masters their kindness in thee and charity, I can make thee a fitting return for them, I answered. Even so, truly in me are benevolence and good works, even though thou render me no return. Then she said, Take me to wife, O my master, and carry me to thy city, for I have given myself to thee, so do me a kindness. And I am of those who be meet for good works and charity. I will make thee a fitting return for these, and be thou not shamed by my condition. When I heard her words, my heart yearned towards her, in such sort as well did Allah, be he extolled and exalted, and took her and clothed her, and made ready for her a fair resting place in the vessel, and honorably entreated her. So we voyaged on, and my heart became attached to her with exceeding attachment, and I was separated from her neither night nor day, and I paid more regard to her than to my brothers. Then they were estranged from me, and waxed jealous of my wealth and the quantity of merchandise I had, and their eyes were opened covetously upon all my property. So they took counsel to murder me and seize my wealth, saying, Let us slay our brother, and all his moneys will be ours. And Satan made this deed seem fair in their sight. So when they found me in my privacy, and I sleeping by my wife's side, they took us both up and cast us into the sea. My wife awoke startled from her sleep, and forthright becoming an Ephrata, she bore me up and carried me to an island, and disappeared for a short time. But she returned in the morning and said, Here am I, thy faithful slave, who hath made thee due recompense. For I bore thee up in the waters, and saved thee from death by command of the Almighty. Know that I am a Jinniyah. And as I saw thee, my heart loved thee by will of the Lord, for I am a believer in Allah and his apostle, whom heaven bless and preserve. Thereupon I came to thee conditioned as thou sawest me, and thou didst marry me. And see now, I have saved thee from sinking. But I am angered against thy brothers, and assuredly I must slay them. When I heard her story, I was surprised, and thanking her for all she had done, I said, But as to slaying my brothers, this must not be. Then I told her the tale of what had come to pass with them from the beginning of our lives to the end. And on hearing it, quoth she, This night will I fly as a bird over them, and will sink their ship and slay them. Quoth I, Allah upon thee, do not thus, for the proverb saith, O thou who doest good to him that doth evil, leave the evildoer to his evil deeds. Moreover, they are still my brothers. But she rejoined, By Allah, there is no help for it, but I slay them. I humbled myself before her for their pardon, whereupon she bore me up and flew away with me till at last she set me down on the terrace roof of my own house. I opened the doors and took up what I had hidden in the ground, and after I had saluted the folk, I opened my shop and bought me merchandise. Now when night came on, I went home, and there I saw these two hounds tied up, and when they sighted me, they arose and whined and fawned upon me. And ere I knew what happened, my wife said, These two dogs be thy brothers, I answered. And who hath done this thing by them? And she rejoined, I sent a message to my sister, and she entreated them on this wise, Nor shall these two be released from their present shape till 10 years shall have passed. And now I have arrived at this place on my way to my wife's sister, that she may deliver them from this condition. should see what might occur between thee and him. Such is my tale. Then said the genie, Surely this is a strange